Alright.
What's going on, everybody? It's your man Bishop Bang, and welcome to another episode of It's Whatever with the Bishop, Magic Moments with the Mosley present. I got the founder and owner of Yeah Yep Entertainment, my co-host, Funny Man Jeff.
Yeah, yep.
And we have a guest. So we do this little thing, right? We investigate you. Research. Yeah, we do a little research. So let us know what we got, if it's right, and then we'll introduce you and you can add what we miss.
All right. Good. Yeah, usually this has been my job lately. He puts me to task, so let's see if I come through. I'm first 2 times I did pretty good, so let's go 3 for 3.
Yeah, 2.
Okay. All right. So listen, this brother right here is the owner, and we can go founder as well because it makes it sound a whole lot better. Of Bell's Carpet Cleaning.
Yes.
Okay. I gotta put this out there early because football season around the corner. Die-hard Cowboys fan.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's 2 of them in here.
Good brother of the Freemasons.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. Entrepreneur, and also helped your daughter become an entrepreneur now. So I know you're also a proud father.
Yes.
And I want to throw in there. Last one I think we got here is an amateur boxer as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So we want to proudly introduce to everybody, listeners, YouTube viewers, Buddy Bells, everybody.
Yeah. What's going on, man? Yeah. Welcome, man. What's going on?
Nothing much.
We had a guest. She had a lot of good things to say about you. We interviewed Heron.
Yeah, she's a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
Good friend of mine. Real good
She
people.
down in Florida right now?
Yeah.
Big ups to you, sweetheart.
Yeah, she's making it work.
Yeah, she
Definitely
said
is.
you gave her some tips and she went in, man. She spoke highly of you.
Yeah, she's good people and she's hungry, man. Like there's something about it. Like when I see like hunger in people, like it just does something to me. You know what I mean? It's almost like I even forget about myself and just focus my attention towards it. I don't know why. It usually doesn't benefit me at all, but it's just who I am as a person. You know what I mean? So
makes it easier
let us tell us, like, what about you? Like, how did it start from the beginning? Start from the beginning.
Well, there's a lot of stuff a lot of people don't know about me. I give people enough just to kind of let them think they know, but they really don't know.
Real world.
I'm not from this area. I'm from northeastern PA, Scranton. Grew up, I like to say I had a rough paper route growing up. Actually, I really liked your interview with, I can't think of his name right. Not Leland, the other gentleman. Secretary Flood.
Mr. Flood.
So, and the reason being is I actually come from a little bit of a checkered past. I ended up in Harrisburg via the Department of Corrections.
Okay.
So, got a job out here. I was just trying to do something different with my life. You know what I mean? Did a little bit of a bid, and I just wanted to be somewhere different. New people, new things, nothing but just, a dream. What do I got to lose if I ain't got nothing to lose? Let's try it out. And I got a job at a carpet cleaning business. I was there for several years. Actually, let me go back. The reason I stayed in Harrisburg was a female.
Okay.
That's what caught my attention.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's what kept me here, and I'm that didn't work out. But I started work for another company.
Did you end up with the daughter out of that? No. Sorry.
No.
It's okay. It's what we're
Hey, some failures lead to blessings. You know what I mean? So, I started out here working in a pallet shop, and then a guy offered me a job cleaning carpets. Someone else who had a past and turned his life around. He had actually passed away a couple of years ago. A guy named Mike Donovan. He owns Mid-State Carpet Masters. He kept offering me a job. I kept turning him down because I was secure where I was at, which was something that was new to me. And eventually I took it, and I was like, I'm good at this. You know what I mean? I'm good with dealing with people. I like to talk to people. I like people intrigue me. You know what I mean? In small doses, of course. Yeah. But I like people, and I worked there for several years. I kind of climbed my way, to the top of what I could in that company, and then met my daughter's mother. You know what I mean? Obviously, we had her, bought a house, I just bought a new truck and then went to work one day and my boss says, and it wasn't really a question, how do you feel about being laid off?
Oh, sure.
And I had dreams and an ambition of going out and doing my own thing. Yeah, and I was planning on it. I was planning on making a move, but I was forced to. In no way was I really prepared for it, and it was a scary thing for me. I have no college education. I have a GED. Like that's the highest level of education I have. I said a while ago on Facebook, my business plan was survival.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was trying not to lose everything I essentially killed myself for to get. You know what I mean? And I want to be able to provide for my family and break the cycles of my past and whatnot. So that's how it started. I bought my ex-wife, who I call my wife still, and I'll get into that later. But she took a loan out because I couldn't even get a loan, so I could buy this rough old van off Craigslist, and it had the carpet cleaning equipment in, and I just started out that way, man. Literally door to door with flyers, like just trying to make it. And
how long ago was this?
This was 2012.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, 2012. So
moving.
yeah, August 1st will be 8 years in business. You know what I mean? And
all right.
It's hard for me to believe. It's tough, but I mean we're still here, and I don't plan on going anywhere.
All right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, who does it? Yeah, because that's a service where people are gonna need, like, that can't go out of style. Like,
yeah. People don't want to clean up after themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they're always going to be willing to pay other people to do it. You know what I mean? And I'm good at what I do. I've found a way to provide a service. So, I just do what I do.
All right.
So
how was it? So what? I'm in for this. I need to know the steps after you brought the truck. And did it slow down, or was it steady that you seen it? Was there anything that came that made you say? Because it's always a.
Why am I doing this?
Or it's always a breaking point where people get so close and it might not like go their way and they quit. So did you have any pitfalls?
Oh yeah.
In the middle? Yeah. I
Oh, yeah.
need to know about
Yeah,
this. This is what we're here for.
At first, luckily I had a couple dollars saved up, not a whole lot, but I was smart with some things, and I set myself up for some success by some past moves, and I hung on, and then my wife would be like, "Are we good?" You know what I mean? Because she's always been like, "Are we good? Do I need to get another job?" Like this and that. I'm like, "We're good, we're good." And it got to a point to where like she's like, "Are we good?" And I'm like, "Yeah," but I'm lying through my teeth. You know what I mean?
Trying to be a man about it.
Just trying to be a provider. I wasn't getting jobs.
That's wild, because there's always that. I had that moment where it was no clients.
Yeah,
So
it's feast or famine. Yeah, and I wasn't getting jobs. People don't know me. You know what I mean? I'm showing up in their driveways in this old van, look like. I put a picture up the other day, like I might have kidnapped a few kids on my way and leaking oil, but like this is what I had. And I was gonna make it work.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was people not paying me. You know what I mean? Because I did early on get like a couple commercial accounts, but we're talking 3 months before I even got a check from them. You know what I mean?
Invoice 90 days after the invoice.
Yeah, and being a small guy, people always like to pay the small guy last. You know what I mean? There was that. There was numerous things breaking down. Actually, when I was driving the van home, the day I bought it, the coolant line busted down on 322 in Hershey. So from the rip, I was like, this ain't meant to be. You know what I mean? But in my position, I was like, I don't know anything else. This is what I'm good at. You know what I mean? I don't have time to go to college right now. I don't have time to get a trade. Like, this is what I got to do, and I'm going to make it work any way I can make it work.
You put in the time learning anyway.
Yeah. I mean, one way or another, like, my family was going to be good. You know what I mean? I feel like I've always had that ambition and drive. Like, I'll get it any way I got to get it. You know what I mean? Up until today, like, if work is slow, like, I'll do other things to get money. Legitimate things. You know what I mean? But if we have to go back there, then no, I'm just kidding. That's not me, but not anymore, anyways. But yeah, I mean, there was numerous things. It was like every day I was getting knocked in the head with something different. You know what I mean? Mechanical issues, this, that, people not paying me. Just. There was a lot. I had no type of business experience whatsoever. I knew nothing about business. I didn't know who to
Taxes
contact.
and all that.
Yeah, taxes, resources, this, that. Like, I literally winged it. You know what I mean? I learned along the way, and I learned a lot of, and I heard Leland say this, a lot of expensive lessons. You know what I mean? There was a lot of lessons that cost me money. I can't think of like specific things off the top of my head that were struggles because I have so much going on today.
Right.
I didn't even really like think back to that. But there was a lot. It wasn't easy, man. I mean, I just kept being persistent, just kept going, keep going, and it was 2 steps forward, 3 steps backwards. You know what I mean? And like, I just maintained it and kept going. So
yeah, so it's pretty. What was your? Did you jump right into the building you're at now, or did you?
The warehouse
Yes,
I'm at?
the warehouse.
No. My house has a garage. I ran everything out of my house for quite a few years. Eventually, I purchased another used van, very similar to the first one. And I had my van in a storage unit. Like, I could literally just fit my van in a storage unit, but I have to, because of the plumbing system in it, I got to keep it heated. So I had to get somewhere that had electricity and keep it out of the elements, like when I'm not working. I had to like slither out the door to get in there, but that's how I started. I started this company from the bottom.
Right.
My first computer was, I just had enough money to buy like a $300 computer from Walmart. Now, if you buy $300 on a computer,
Acer or something like that.
It was the worst.
Yeah, it's not.
It was
top brand.
it was slow. But I mean, I was like, okay, I'm starting from this, and then we just kept building. You know what I mean? Start small and just keep adding and growing and improving things and improving equipment and this and that. And it's about 2 years ago I got the building I'm at now because I have a dream with this business to where I want it to be. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I want people to take me serious as a company. But when people look up Bella's Carpet Clean, they see my house. Like they know I'm a small business guy. And some people appreciate that, but other people, they don't, and they treat small business guys differently. So if I have a corporate, facade or whatever, you know what I mean, people will respect me a little bit more.
Right.
Employees are going to take me
Right.
a little bit more serious. So that's why I got the place where I'm at now.
Okay.
So, and the other thing too, just kind of like after a while, your business and it grows and it takes a lot out of you. You know what I mean? You guys know that. Like,
you can now leave work at work. You know what I mean?
That was the thing.
Yeah.
That was the other thing.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to get off work and not have to work. I mean, my phone rings. I get bombarded. Emails, text messages, Facebook messages, Instagram messages. Like, all day long. Like, it's a lot to deal with. So, yeah, it's very overwhelming. And it's not that I'm not grateful for it and I don't appreciate it. But sometimes I want to be like,
Shit.
hey, did you really have to like call me Saturday night at 11:30 to ask me how much I charge to clean a room of carpet? You know what I mean? Like give me a little bit of space. But it's the nature of the business. So
You've had that happen before.
several times.
That's because they be dreads and they think that's what they.
Yeah. Now time
they're just talking.
Let me see how much you charge for a
They be
room.
like, I'm ready to start working. I'm like, you're drunk.
Go to sleep, buddy. Call me tomorrow.
Yeah, so I mean, it's the nature of business, and I put myself out there, so I mean, I'm available, and but the thing is, with that being said, when people call 11 o'clock at night, I'm gonna answer the phone. You know what I mean? Like, whether it's nonsense or not, like, I'm gonna answer the phone. I'm gonna rise to the occasion. Like, I don't want to miss other opportunities. I don't want other people to eat my lunch. You know what I mean? Like, it's just part of the game.
So you have when did you get like the first clients that you actually seen stuck with you? There's some that been with you through the years, right?
Yeah, I've had some of my commercial accounts from the beginning. Probably about the first corporate account I had, and I ended up, they changed management companies. When they did, they just kind of like got
Did away
rid
with
of
everybody.
And I remember you were talking about that one of the things where with some of the contracts where some people will come in, they'll just bring their own people, and that's what they did. You know what I mean? And luckily, I was known from my old company. Other people, they know I'm out there. You know what I mean? And I did. One thing I want to say is like, I was real big on not going after the work of my other company.
Okay.
Because the guy gave me an opportunity, like, granted he laid me off, but we still had a mutual respect, you know what I mean?
that's what's up.
Where I was like, I don't really want to, like, bite the hand that feeds me, and I'm going to make this on my own either way. There's enough out here for everybody, you know what I mean? So, you know.
It's good karma for you, too, though.
What's the karma? Ain't no karma.
I mean, it's business. It don't
Yeah,
and
don't get me. I'm just saying, I respect him for that.
Don't get me wrong.
This
now at this point,
You gotta stop being salty.
Listen here.
at this point, I'm not so much of a softie anymore.
Right.
At this day and age, business is business.
I respect you because that's that type of person you are. You're always carrying it forth. Like, that's nothing wrong. That's a good quality because people know, like him, I can trust you.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I see your trust without even questioning it. So that's that.
I appreciate that.
People look at you. That's what you see. Like I got that from you the first time. Like, yo, this dude's genuine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's not a. That's a. Because you know either way you was gonna make it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
And that's helped me a lot in business.
Yeah.
I mean, and I based my company like on being like transparent. Like, I'm not like, say some of these big franchises, they come in under these, you know, clean your whole house for $99. You know what I mean? There's no way a business can stay in business doing that. But they get in your house under that, you know, those false pretenses, and then they're like, well, wipe your blinds and do this and do your and they just upsell the hell out of you. And then, you know, next thing you know, you got a $700 bill for something you thought was going to be $900. I don't do that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm very transparent. I try to give my customers what they want, not what I want to give them. And, you know, some people from a business aspect will say, like, well, that's dumb. You're leaving money on the floor, this and that. You know, but it is who I am as a person. Like, I don't like when I go to get my oil changed and they start showing me my air filter and stuff like that, or, you know, and I'm like,
now I need a new headlight.
I just want an oil change.
Yeah.
And I'll give you, if you want the dog and pony show, I'll give it to you. I have everything. I'm qualified to do everything. But for the most part, like, I try to be fair with people. You know what I mean? I try to keep it real basic, real simple.
I had to learn though that that's business.
Yeah.
I noticed that a lot of people do that. I never paid attention to it, but I'm like, everyone does that.
Yeah.
I was on the beach and I'm like, dude hit me with the, oh, your kids can do this, da 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 da. Then as you know, at the end he was like, that's gonna cost you X, Y, and Z. Oh, you just said that, you know what I mean? Oh, it's all for this one flea, and then as you know
you thought it was included. Yeah. No,
I know what you said.
Yeah.
But here I'm gonna get this.
And that is business. And there's some things where as time has gone on, I've learned, like, there is some things I have to do to, you know, if I want to stay in business, I have to do certain things. Right. I'm not gonna, like, stay in business being a nice guy all the time.
It tests
you know what I mean?
Integrity.
Oh my God, does it? Yeah, I mean,
it tests your integrity. Crazy.
Yeah, because I'll go into an old lady's house that has brand new carpet, that never has a visitor. I mean, it's spotless to begin with.
Right.
And they'll ask me to put Scotch Guard down. Now, I can put Scotch Guard on someone's carpet and make a few $100 extra bucks, but, like, me as the person, I'm like, miss, do you really, is this necessary?
Right.
And, you know, I look back on it sometimes, I'm like, yeah, I've left a lot of money there, but I explain it to them, like, you have no traffic, you have no pets, you have nobody coming over, like, I can give it to you and it will serve a purpose, but it's really not necessary. Do you want me to take your money? Because I will, but I'm just letting you know. I'm letting you know, because I feel like, what if someone else comes in there and says, well, why would he sell you that if you didn't need it? That's going to look bad on me, you know what I mean? And I'm like, most of the time people are like, wow, I really appreciate that. And you know what? That does a lot more for me than
that word of mouth money's still out there too.
Absolutely.
Word of mouth, how I put it, is still sometimes just as good as your marketing through social media and all that.
Word of mouth is the best, the best form of marketing. You know, and a guy
heard about you do such and such.
Absolutely, and that's where the majority of my business comes, and I'm cool with that because, you know, it's really just me, so I can only do so much. You know what I mean? If I want to really advertise, like, I can do a lot more, but manpower is an issue for me.
Talk about that. Like, what is it? Is the work ethic? Is it the work ethic of some folks these days? Or
I feel like Yeah, I feel like it's work ethic. I feel like a lot of people are entitled. They don't want to start at the bottom, and that's with anything. You know what I mean? Guys probably coming to you with training expecting a week to be look like you. It takes work. Anything takes work. You know what I mean? You got to start from somewhere. I mean, I've had guys. You know, I ask them, I'm like, you know, what are you looking to make an hour? $18. Okay. Do you have a driver's license? No. Do you have any experience? No. What do you have to offer me?
That's worth $18.
Yeah. Show me something. Because if you're worth $18, I'll give you $18. But like you're telling me right now, you don't even have a driver's license. You can't even work for me because you can't go from house to house.
Yeah.
But this is the mentality of a lot of people. They don't want to start nowhere. Like I said before, I started cleaning carpets. I worked in a pallet shop, and I mean it was that hard work, man. And I was started out at $9 an hour. I was there for, I don't know, maybe a year or so, but I left there making like $11.50, and I busted my ass because I'm like, you know what? Listen, I'm gonna be the best pallet builder there is. You know what I mean? Like, and if this is where I'm gonna be at the rest of my life, I'm gonna be at the top of this place. You know, one way or another. I'm gonna outperform everybody, and that's what I did. And like I said, opportunities came along, and eventually I took them. But people don't want to do that, man. It's a very demanding service. A lot of people aren't built to deal with other people with personalities. You know, you go into a job every day at, you know, FIA or one of these places, you know your boss. You've been dealing with them. If your boss is an ass, you know what to expect every day. Every door I go to, I'm dealing with a different boss, a different person signing my paycheck. I gotta change every job I go to. I gotta cater everyone's personality. I gotta make sure they like me. You know what I mean, or at least act like they do. You know, they gotta trust me in their houses. You know what I mean. I go in. There's a lot of stuff that you know. People don't like people coming to their homes. I'm one of those people. I don't like people coming to my home. I don't have guests at my house. A lot of people don't know where I live. I'm just a very private person in that aspect. So it's difficult for a lot of people. A lot of people can't adapt to different cultures. You know what I mean? They just know what they know, and you know the hours are you know, most people are 9 to 5. This job is 8 o'clock till you get done, and you might be done and get a phone call from me and have to go back out to work. So you know it's hard. It's hot. You know, this past week when you're blowing 233 degree water
for 3 hours earlier
under your face all day. Basically, it's like working above a pot of soup all day, and then the heat on top of that. I mean, it's not easy work. It's not easy work. So
I used to do floors in Virginia, and I'm talking about in houses that were just built.
Oh yeah,
just the wood.
No AC.
That's why I did that. I did it.
Yeah,
I did. That's about the 13th time. Like, listen, I'm ready to go home. And I was up in Virginia, up in Lightfoot, like, and the sticks, like, carrying carpet on my shoulders, and they like, okay, we got the cocky black guy. Can you grab this? You know what I mean? But I did it because I just looked up. It was a challenge to me. I did a lot because it was nothing to me, and I would get done and work out before I went. Or get up in the morning and work out before I went, because I like they never would take that part from me. So I'm gonna do that anyway. I'd rather slack when I get there than miss what I'm doing for me. So, but I did floors, man, the vinyl and all that.
But I love it.
Yeah, you gotta be your knees and all that.
I mean, I enjoy it. I enjoy people, man. Like I said, I could take people in small doses.
How long did it take you to do if it was like 4 rooms? How long were you? All right, so what's your max time?
It's
how do you try to get out? Do you got a timer that you set and you try to get in? Boom.
No, I try. You know, typically on a job when I go in, I set an expectation with the customer. You know what I mean? I always try and educate them, because sometimes people don't know the difference between wear and soil. You know, someone might have had a dog that has been, you know, going crazy on their carpets and think that, like, just a regular cleaning is going to get it. You know what I mean? Like I said, I always try and be very upfront with people. This is what may happen. This can actually make it worse. You know what I mean? Like, and then I price the job accordingly.
All right,
So, I mean,
carpet whisperer. You give me like.
Well, I gotta know.
yeah, because you know it's a lot that we would take into knowing that you probably know. Like this is a soil versus.
And there's a science behind it.
It is.
You know what I mean? There is a science behind it. I hold certifications in it. Like it's not just as simple as bringing something on the carpet and washing it out. Yeah, it's not. You know what I mean? Like you got to know how to get dyes out, and there's a lot more to it.
You just got diarrhea out of somebody's carpet. I think I've seen that on Facebook.
And that was the second time I did it.
At that same house?
Mm-hmm. It's an older customer of mine. She's
sorry.
No, I mean it
yes, it's diarrhea.
Yeah, and that's what I'm. You know, if I got to clean up shit to make money, then that's what I'm gonna do. But trust and believe, I'm gonna charge accordingly to do that.
Was it a baby?
No, it was an elderly woman.
I feel bad for laughing.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's gonna be us someday. You know what I mean? And you know, I take care of her because you know I'm like, man, I just hope that someone is this nice to me when I'm in this, because that's embarrassing.
He got it out though.
I got it out.
He got it out.
I got it out.
You should have brand new. The carpet I did. The carpet looked brand new.
Well, I'm certified and I'm trained to handle like bioremediation type stuff. I could clean
up. You can come in and mess up a nice. It'd be people having some nice rugs, don't they?
Yeah,
having some stuff.
Yeah, you put the wrong stuff on it, you could buy those rugs. Or if you drag something across their, you know, hardwood floors and it's there. And you always gotta be careful on people's homes. People are funny, man. You might I always do a walkthrough with people and kind of like just look at everything. And as I'm doing this, I'm looking for things. I'm looking for, you know, something that like I may bump into or knock down. Right. You know what I mean? Because you get someone, you knock over a plate. And then next thing you know, next thing you know, this thing is like a 400-year-old family heirloom, but you're arguing because it says Family Dollar on the back of it. You know what I mean? Well, you got, you know.
Now they want you to clean for 2 months and 3.
Yeah. So you got to prepare yourself, man. You really got to know.
Family Dollar on the back.
Yeah. And this is the type of stuff you'll deal with. You know what I mean?
Let me ask you this, because so that you don't get burnt. Like, so how do you set up payment? You know, we don't have to get too personal about it, but like as far as
because I heard you say about getting burnt.
Yeah, so that you do upon completion. Do you want like a percentage up front? Like
I do residential stuff. They pay me upon completion. You know what I mean? Unless I have a rapport with them, then I'll send them a bill, cash check or credit card. You know what I mean? I have no problem asking for my payments. Commercial accounts, they're a little bit more difficult.
You got to submit the invoice. You got to bill them basically.
Yeah, but I'm in the process of getting set up with a collection agency. You know, up until recently, I wouldn't even charge people late fees. You know what I mean? Because like I'm kind of like, well, you give me a lot of work, why would I do that? But now it's like, I need my money. I need my money. You know what I mean? And I recently had to send out a letter to some people saying, hey, like, due to people not paying me in a reasonable amount of time, as of July 1st, I'm sending late charges per invoice per month until it's paid. After a certain amount of months, I'm sending it to collections because, what's the point of me doing work for you if you're not going to pay me? Right. You know what I mean? So
this is the stuff, I guess, Leland, he didn't touch on that specifically, but this is the type of education we're supposed to have, too.
Yeah, and that you got to learn how to balance that, man, because there's been times where, and this is this is the exact truth, where I've had $40,000 in outstanding invoices and $200 in my bank account.
Yeah. I've seen that happen to my pops. Shit like that.
Man.
You know what I mean? So that's a rough place.
I'm in lobbies, man. I'll be in your lobby, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm in your lobby.
You straight your bed off the wire.
I'm in your lobby. Well, I understand your business.
But at the same time, people don't understand.
I need help with that. I need help with that. I would need help with that. I commend you. I would need help with that. You're not going to listen, I'm out here busting my ass.
Yeah. Well, that's through. That's not one account. That's
that's
multiple
level, right? That's what I'm saying.
An aggregate balance, but and that was a learning experience.
That's why you were boxing. He said, "I'm gonna go boxing."
Yeah. But and since then things, I learned how to not allow it to get to that point. You know what I mean? But this is some of the things
I've
gone.
Protect yourself.
Well, I was, to be honest, I was scared. I was scared to go into an account and be like, "Hey, you need to pay me," because I'm like, they might say to me, "Hey, I'm just gonna call someone else," and not, you know what I mean?
And just drag the work though.
I know, but when my theory was, if you're giving me hypothetically $80,000 a year on work, and I'm harassing you over $1,500, You know what I mean? You just gotta kind of. And I was, but now, like I said, I learned, and I had no prior business education or experience, so it was stuff where I had to like put my feelers out. You know what I mean? Because being a small business person and having certain accounts, losing an account could really hurt me. You know what I mean? And from a business standpoint, it could.
But that's why they don't got nobody now. Because you see them. That's how I would look at it. You would have somebody if you didn't need me.
You have a secretary? No.
I did.
One day.
I did have one for a little bit, and just I had to make some adjustments for the business. You know what I mean? It just didn't work out for the time being. Playing with staff, it's like I said, it's hard to find. It's hard to find good people. It's really hard to find good people.
What I'm noticing construction is some folks, not all, because I ain't gonna box anybody in, but some folks don't take pride in their work
at all.
They don't take pride. They just come for the check.
Yeah, because that's not their dream.
Yeah.
I need people passionate about what we're doing.
Yeah. When I worked for the other company, like I was, not only was I doing my work, I was building relationships with the accounts. I was getting new accounts. Like I treated it like it was my own business. It wasn't like I just went to work and did my work and got done. And I believe that was like the difference maker for me. And I've had a lot of employees where they just come to work, do their work, and go home. And I say to them, like, listen, if you want to just do that, that's fine. I'm going to pay you your hourly rate, but like, you're not going to get anywhere that way. Right. If you're not, if you're just here, helping me get through the day-to-day operations, I appreciate you for that. But if you're not doing anything beyond that, then why should I increase your pay?
Because you being a small business growing, and I say that for myself too, because even with my next move, you gotta have people passionate about what it is that you're doing. They have to. You can give someone the vision, but they have to see it too. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm a visionary. That's how I look at it. Anywhere I'm coming, I like to see how everything's made and where it could be. Yeah. And if I'm a part of that, like, so that's how I was with the airport. Like, I liked it, but I'm already at the ceiling. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So there's really nothing, because I'm at the ceiling. But when you come to somebody like you and you see that, okay, this man is doing this by himself. So now I know if I come in there and help him get to where he needs, I know, like, he's going to pay me. You would see it to be like, I got to keep this person around. I got to make sure they're covered. Like, that is, and people don't think. And
I've always taken care of my guys well financially, you know what I mean? But like I said,
they will know
it's it's rare that you find people who just want to go that extra mile. And, people don't see, like, these corporate CEOs and stuff and this and that, they think these people are at the top of these companies just making millions of dollars, but they don't see the days where these people were there till 9 o'clock. Right. People think that like I'm like living this lavish lifestyle, but they don't see when my daughter's pulling on my shirt begging me not to go to work. Right. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't even spend no time with her all week because I was so busy. Right. You know what I mean? I don't get to do a lot of recreation type stuff. Right. It's the sacrifices I've got to make for my business to be successful. And I'm gonna bust my ass now, and then later on in life,
fall back a little bit.
I'm gonna fall back. I'm gonna go on vacation, maybe learn how to golf or something. You know what I mean? I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I read a long time ago. I seen it said you gotta give 100% in everything you do. Yeah. No matter what job it is, like. And that becomes you. To everything you do, you'll give that plus more. Go out of your way to do things that's not asked of you.
Yeah, why wouldn't you want to be the best version of yourself? You know what I mean? Like, that don't make sense to me. Like, people are so.
Because I will go places to where they gonna call you and say, that young man that just left here, he's phenomenal.
Yeah,
that's what I want. That's what I want you to say about me when I leave.
Yeah, I don't want to be mediocre. I don't want people, when they think of me and my product, to be like, he's just. No, I want to stick down.
That's how I know I get my raise. You will have so many people calling you like, yo, that guy. Yeah. They're like, yo, that guy. They'll tell you, make sure you keep that guy.
Yeah. And
take care of him.
Yes.
And a lot of people have that to say about me and what I do. You know what I mean? Like, and that's from a lot of years of hard work and just really just being thorough and consistent and aggressive about what I do. Just keep going, man. Keep going. Yeah. Because you never know who's watching either. Yep. That guy that offered me that first job, like, he knew I had another job and he seen the type of person I was. You know what I mean? And I rejected him, like, several times. I was like, no, I'm good, bro. You know what I mean? I'm
Right.
cool. I'm cool with my $9, $10
Right.
an hour.
Right.
I'm cool. You know, I was making $21 an hour at this guy's company. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, damn, I should have jumped on this sooner. And I learned a trade. You know what I mean? I learned
That's
something
they
that
can't take from
they
you.
can't ever take it from me. You know what I mean? So,
That's a story all in itself.
yeah, man. Yeah. So, my whole life's been a story.
Yeah, that's
You know,
It ain't over yet.
I'm with it. I'm with it. You know what I mean? I like to be challenged. If I'm not challenged, I get bored and I get complacent. Man, like if my back's against the wall, let's go.
I be trolling. I admit that I troll. I seen the comment you posted about the struggle and people that might have not struggled, but you know that things were handed to them, and then they try to, because that struggle story sells right now. People use it when they didn't struggle, but people use it. And I seen the guy somebody try to tell you your beginnings.
Yeah.
I peeped him.
Yeah.
He was fast with it too. I said he didn't even read the question. He didn't even read the post. I know he didn't digest the post because the post was like 2 minutes fresh.
Yeah.
And he was on it. His comment was like, whoa. He couldn't wait to say that. And then I was waiting for your response.
I tell people this all the time.
I kept it on there because I didn't want to comment yet. I just wanted to see. So I kept it on here. And then I seen the comments start popping up.
I was gonna bring something here with me today. Well, you know, obviously I thought this was tomorrow, but in my closet at my house, I have a orange, yellow, and black Rockaware hoodie. That is the only thing I had when I came to Harrisburg. Some state prison pants and some boots. That was it. My mom's disabled. My dad's dead. Like, ain't nothing ever been handed to me.
Right.
You know what I mean? I grew up in the system. You know what I mean? 20-some foster homes. You know this, that. Like I've been to a lot of different places, which has benefited me because I could adapt to anybody. I could conversate with anyone. You know what I mean? And I don't.
It made you who you are.
It made it. I'm strong. You know what I mean? In a different way. Like I feel like I'm a strong person. You know, I don't tell a lot of people that stuff, but like, you know, I've been through a lot. You know,
Don't judge me like I'm privileged because I'm white when I didn't.
And you know, I get that. I get that a lot. You know what I mean? And I tell people all the time, and I don't tell others because I don't want people to. You know, I feel like now at this point in my life, I'm established enough. People know who I am now. This day is like my past don't define my character at all. You know what I mean? Like. People know who I am now,
right.
So now I'm like, I've been starting to open up to people. Like, listen, I've been there.
Right.
You know what I mean? I've been to places. I've been to jail. I've been there. I've lived in the projects. I've flicked a roach off the couch, so like my friend didn't see it when they were over. You know what I mean? Like I've been in some I've battled all types of battles throughout my life, man, and I've made it through it for the most part. You know what I mean? I've fought through it, and I feel like anybody can, and I look for people, like I said, if I see someone's got like some type of like hunger and this and that, like my total attention is just like, yo, we need to like get on this and nurture this, you know what I mean? Whether it be, you know, anybody, a person trying to start a business, someone in a boxing club, like I see it, and you know,
it gives you life.
It does. You know what I mean? Sometimes I focus my attention a little too much on other people, and sometimes I say I wish I could see the good in myself the way I do other people, but I don't always do that. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. I know one day, whatever your beliefs are, like when I approach those gates, I'm good. You know what I mean? I'm getting in there. You know what I mean? Like I'm getting in there because I feel like my heart is good. I may not be a perfect person. I get good attitudes. I have bad days, but my heart is good and my heart is pure. I believe that. You know what I mean? And like I said, I believe in other people, man. I want to see.
That's the vibe I get from.
Yeah, I want to see other people be great. There was a guy. Maybe you might want to get him at some point. James Williams. He started a carpet cleaning business. You know what I mean? And he shot me a message on Facebook, and like I chatted with him, this and that. I believe we had a phone call, and I wasn't like, nah, don't do that, like trying to like missteer. I'm like, this is what I did. This is my opinion. This is what I think. Do it. You know what I mean? Like, I like competition because now you're making me even work harder, and I want to see you be successful. There's enough out here for everybody. You know what I mean? There's a million fast food restaurants. You know what I mean? Like, there's enough. There's other trainers. You know, you do drywall, right? There's other drywall guys. Like, if you really want to get out here and get it, you can get it. You know what I mean? Same thing with Heron. And there was another girl I helped, you know, start a business. And this wasn't like me doing this to where like, hey, I need something for this. You know what I mean? I've never been that type of person. Like, I'm doing this because It's just who I am, and it's who I am.
I want to see you take care of your family. I want to see you be successful.
Yeah, and I'm here. I'm established. I got experience. You know what I mean?
You have nothing to lose by
motivating. That's the
them.
seeds that you get to harvest from however you want it. That's how I believe it. Like you doing that, you giving that. That's giving some knowledge that is worth something to you. Yeah. You don't have to charge. You're going to still reap the benefits.
And some people do, and
it's going to be
worth
more.
I'll tell you what. I feel like, and I was thinking about this the other day, man. I feel like that's what a big problem in this world is. Everybody wants to sell everything. People want to sell kindness, everything, man. Like people won't just tell you how to do something anymore. Right. You know what I mean? Like back in the day, like people would like educate each other on like, okay, you want to get your real estate license or this, that, you can do it. No, now you got to pay to go to seminars.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And the people are just telling you, you know, what they want to tell you and telling you what they want to tell you, so it benefits them. Like the motives behind it ain't right. You know what I mean? They're not pure.
Somebody close to me pulled that shit.
Yeah, people do a lot of stuff.
We can plan it. We can market it, and we charge such and such amount of people $200. You know how much money we could walk away with? Now tell them how to get the real estate license. I'm like, that sounds like a fucking scam, bro.
And, you know what? It's not. Like people make, people make a business out of everything this day and age, and that's cool. But like, I feel like everybody just wants to sell everything. Like no one wants to do nothing because it's good. But I do want to touch base on that Facebook post I made about a person. So there's a person I know, I'm friends with on Facebook, and they come from a good family, and they have a successful business. And I respect that. You know, my goal with my business is to make sure my daughter never has to struggle. Right. My goal is if she wants to make a move, that I'm in a position where I can help her. And that's a beautiful thing, man. Right. Like, that's what most people should be doing. Yeah, for generations to come. You know what I mean? But I see a certain person and they've come from, maybe they've had struggles, but they haven't had the struggles that like a lot of us know. You know what I mean? Like you haven't really been there. You haven't not had food.
And it's okay. It's okay if you haven't.
Just stop acting like
you have been. Yes.
Yeah, stop acting like other people ain't the same. Well, other people have never had the same opportunities as you. Right. You know what I mean? Like people, you know, the way I grew up, like, and this a belief I had as a kid was like, I'm just a fucked up person. I'm gonna grow up in the system. I'll probably be in jail. Like, I accepted this as what it is. Like, my family has nothing. You know what I mean? I always thought for anyone to be successful, like, someone either had to die and leave them a lot of money. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't believe that you can actually start from nothing. You know what I mean? Like, build something. Like, but no, that's a lie. But not everyone. You know, there's a lot of people that have that same belief that, like, I can't be nothing because I come from nothing. You know what I mean? Right. And that is the biggest lie in the world. You know what I mean? I don't think there's any excuses for anything. Yeah, there's obstacles, but there's no excuse that not anybody in this world could be successful in their own form or version, whatever. You know what I mean? And I just don't like when people, you know, talk down to other people. Like, listen, man, like, you know, and I've experienced it, like, where I've gone up. You know, this last 2 years, business-wise, personal-wise, you know, have been really hard on me in a lot of different ways. You know what I mean? And like humbling. You know what I mean? And how are you gonna react when you fall? You know what I mean? How are you gonna react when you're on the edge and you're fighting to hang on? You know what I mean? Like, that's where your true test is gonna be. Let's see how you're built then. Let's see how you're built when you got to make it happen. You know what I mean? But you know. It bothers me, you know what I mean? Because I like people, man. I like people, but I don't like people like just clowning people, man. Like it's just wrong, man. We all come from different places, and you got to respect where people are at, man, and their position. Don't beat them up for you know what they know. Right. You know what I mean? Show them something different, and don't sell it to them. You know what I mean? Yeah, sure. So, yeah. But,
shit. How'd you get into the your daughter got the vending machine situation?
Oh yeah, so I always wanted vending machines of my own. You know what I mean? As a kid, it was always something I just thought was cool. Like you get a lot of money out of them, it's kind of cash. You know what I mean? So I found a vending machine for sale somewhere, and I was gonna start it for myself. And I was like, you know what, man? This is how I'm gonna set my daughter up. It just like it was like a light bulb went off. I was like, I'm gonna get these vending machines. I'm going to fill them with stuff. I'm going to buy them up front. I'm going to fill them up front. And then she's going to get the money out. She's going to learn how to stock them. She's going to learn how to count the money. She's going to get a bank account. Next year, I plan on incorporating it for her and getting her a DUNS number. You know what I mean? So she could I want it that way. When she turns 20 or something, if she wants to open a Chick-fil-A or something,
right.
she's gonna have an established DUNS number. Like they're gonna be like, oh, you've been in business for 15 years, but you're only 20. You know what I mean?
Right.
Whatever. So I feel like it's
smart.
Yeah, she learned. She's going into second grade.
How many you got?
We got out right now. We got two. We got a one candy machine, like a vending candy machine, like snack machine, full one. That's actually up at East Shore Auto. I got a soda and vending machine at Snyder's Automotive over on the West Shore. I got a candy machine in East Shore Auto. I got a candy machine at a salon in Carlisle, and I have a couple other machines in my shop that I'm looking for locations for them. Okay. And there's a couple I got to do maintenance. So we're starting off small.
So
that's what's up, though.
Yeah. So how do they charge you for space?
They don't.
They don't.
They don't.
They don't want nothing.
Is it because you're doing this for your daughter? So
no. Honestly,
this little girl live.
honestly, in that type of business, I mean, if anyone were to ask me to, if they wanted like $10-20 a month or something to compensate for the electricity, I'd be cool with that. But it's really not that profitable in one location. Now, if a person gave me 20 locations, then we could talk there. But it's really it's small money, you know what I mean? And unless you have, like I said, 20, 30
they put something in there that they don't have to worry about.
You're offering a service for their clients, you know what I mean? So
because you could be charging them to put it in there.
Yeah.
So who monitors, and if they run low, are you counting on the company, or you gotta kind of do a ride by?
Well, most of the places are within where I'm at, so I kind of stop by, or I just tell them to call me, you know what I mean? And this and that. The candy machines, the quarter ones, return them. They last for months at a time. The vending machines, it all depends on the person got the money.
Sam's getting rents like
yeah. So and I try and cater to what people like. You know what I mean?
I'd be ready to call a number like, you need to come clean these.
Yeah.
My kid, let me get some out of there. No, it's not.
So my big thing is I want to set my daughter up for success. I've always said, like, if she fails in life, it's not going to be because of anything I do. That girl is everything to me, man. She's gave me life when I had none. You know what I mean? She's kept me fighting when I wanted to give up. Like, she's done everything for me, so I owe it to her. What I was doing prior to that, I was trying to put $10 a week in a bank account since the time she was born. Then every year I would buy like a certificate of deposit. It only makes about $12 to $15 a year, and I was like, well, if I could buy a vending machine for $500, $1,000, a used one, because I don't have to go out and buy a $5,000 brand new one. You know what I mean? To show everyone I made it, I'm gonna buy the used one off Craigslist, and I can make $500 a year off that machine and put it in her account. You know what I mean? And that stuff, like, my parents, for whatever reasons, education, whatever, they did the best with what they had, but they didn't know how to set us kids up for success. We didn't know nothing. Like, we didn't, and I'm going to just make sure I don't repeat the same mistake. You know what I mean? And it took me to a late life and period to realize that, you know what I mean? But I'm going to make sure she's good. She knows how to
count time. You're on time. Yeah, man. My pops didn't start his company until I was a senior in high school. Yeah. So up until the senior year, I thought I was going to have to. And it's all good, though. You know what I mean? I'm one of the people, I didn't struggle. So I like hearing all stories. And it makes me appreciate, the times I might have had. They weren't that damn bad, Jeff. You hear what this person went through? Yeah. But he started the company my senior year. So at first I thought, like, yo, dog, you really got to go get an education and bust your ass. But it was dope that eventually it did come along. So you started it. Now, then she can go through life and not, she can enjoy her childhood. She can focus on school. You know what I mean? Like, things like that. She knows she got a solid fallback to, Dad got me.
That's my number one goal, man, to make sure she has to worry about nothing other than being a child, man. Because when I was a kid, I had to worry about everything but being a kid. You know what I mean? It was survival. You know what I mean? So, and I think, all the things you said when you were introducing me, I was thinking there, you're saying the very first thing you should have said was father. You know what I mean? Because that's to me,
That's
is
the top of
above all. You know what I mean? If everything else goes, I'm a father. You know what I mean? And why everything's here before everything, I'm a father. Sometimes I got to put the other things in front of that.
I like that.
But that's number
Because
one.
the things that are in front of that are to make sure she's all right.
Yeah. So that's I have some values. You know what I mean? I got a couple values, couple ideas, couple things, and I don't mind sharing it with other people. Like you said,
Mm-hmm.
I want to see other people be the greatest version of themselves, man. So,
Yeah, I enjoy hearing your story.
Yeah, because I didn't know. Because you're a very humble dude. You're very humble.
Regardless,
dude.
I know you follow a certain type of code. Hard work. I see that with the
from the
boxing.
Biggie era, man.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So I knew that about you, and I appreciate it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. That's like, that was a cool. I just wanted like, hey, you cool. You know what I mean? Real cool. And then when hearing her talk, that just made it. I was like, okay. And then being around you, I was like, all right. So we got enough time about the boxing.
The boxing.
Yes,
All right. So
the boxing.
I just can, I'm 0-2. We'll start by saying that I have 2 losses. First one, I believe I won. The second time I got outworked. But how this started was, I have a daughter, and I've always tried. There was been times where I tried to treat her like she was a son. So I took her down to the boxing gym because I wanted her to be a little
Tell
tougher.
her later.
Yeah. She's my princess, but I want her to be tough too. And I just probably about a year prior to that, I got divorced, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just start working out again and this and that, just to kind of like mentally like relieve myself, because I was dealing with a lot through that. And needless to say, she didn't want to box anymore, and I fell in love with it, and I stayed in there. And the first time I sparred, I dropped a guy. You know what I mean? He's
that confidence shot.
Yeah. My coach Rick is over there looking crazy. Who, you know what I mean? Whatever. And I was like, oh, okay. And he was like, did you ever think about competing? And I'm okay. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, yeah, I'm great and this and that. I'm okay. I can hold my own. You know what I mean? I don't get enough time to train with work and stuff. But I fell in love with it and dedicated myself to it, man. 3 months later, I was having my first fight. A month after training, I separated my shoulder sparring with a guy. You know what I mean? But I was like, I'm gonna get this fight in before, I'm 35 years old and have to go to like this different bracket. And it essentially that sport and Coach Rick saved my life, man. Because I was pretty depressed at that point. You know what I mean, with my divorce and all that stuff. And it did something for me, man. It challenged me to a new way, and it got me, physically right. You know what I mean? For the most part, like it did a lot for me. I seen like, man, when you look at like some of the guys in there, like I said, it's like everything. People don't see the hard work that goes into it. They just see like the event. Like you see a guy fight on ESPN and he knocks this guy out, but they don't see him sitting in there with trash bags on him and sweating their cut weight, not eating, not, engaging in things with their ladies, like, all this sacrifice, and like, to me, like, that is beautiful, man. When someone can, like, give up everything and really not, I mean, they get some reward on it, but, like, on the level around here, they're not getting millions of dollars to do that. It just says a lot about someone's character to me, man, and they're just kind of the kind of people I want to be around, people that are willing to, like, just dig and work and
be on the edge.
I love Coach Rick to death. You know what I mean? That's my guy right there, man. He's just uplifted me in ways that not many people can. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's kind of how that happened. So
that's what's up, though, man.
You can tell people where they can get to Bellis, right?
Yeah, did I mispronounce it?
Bellis, yeah.
Bellis, not Bells.
But see,
and Janitorial Services.
Let me go back to that. You said Bells. Everyone says Bells. My logo has a bell in it.
Okay.
I said I'm not going to spend my whole life correcting people. So I'm just going to
give them what they want.
I'm going to give them what they want. Why not? You know what I mean? But yeah, you can find me Bellis, www.belliscarpetcleaning.com. We have a website, Facebook, Bellis Carpet Cleaning. We have an Instagram as well at Bellis Carpet Cleaning. That's not really too active. Google, we're all over the place. So small company. It's mainly just me. training a new guy. But yeah, you can find us. We're out here.
Yeah,
So.
I'm doing carpet testing. This is Persian.
Yeah, well, most time
Alpaca, you got that shit. Put the club soda on it.
I could identify it, you know what I mean, just by looking at it from experience. It takes, but that's important, an important thing. Experience, huh?
It'd be some expensive carpet, don't it?
Yeah. I did a guy's house the other day. The carpet he had that he bought 30 years ago was $100 a square foot.
That's a fucking lot, right?
$100 a square foot.
That's
So
a
a 10 by 10 room. Do the math.
That's that carpet you put your feet in. You just be like,
Yeah, he's a multi-millionaire. You know what I mean? He's someone
Of course.
I'm
spill stuff often. See you soon.
yeah. I like it. Make a mess. I'll be there to clean it up. You know what I mean?
You should buy a dog.
Yeah, that's what I tell people all the time.
Yeah,
Have some kids.
Yeah.
Give them some red juice
Yeah.
because I can clean that up.
You don't got no pets. I'm being there. You ain't got no pets.
Yeah.
Man, you don't need a dog.
Run around this place.
That's what's up, man.
No, yeah, man, this was a good one, man.
You get them clients like that, man.
I like
it though.
I like my one of the joys of my business is like, okay, so 8 years in, a lot of my clients, like residential, have been with me from the beginning.
Yeah.
I've seen their lives transform.
Right.
Yeah.
I seen, hey, this dude got a girlfriend. Oh, hey, next time I come back, they're engaged. They just got a kid. They just moved to
Watch this
a
man flourish.
different apartment. And now they just built their dream house and this and that. And so I get to like grow up with these
them.
people and
Yeah.
watch their, their kids know me, their pets know me. You know what I mean? So like I said, I'm a people person for the most part. In doses.
It's important.
I always
Those
say
are-
that.
man,
I feel all my clients win. Like they're doing great in life. Like
It does, yeah,
So,
it does
like,
something for you, man. It
yeah.
shows you that what you're doing is making a difference,
Mhm.
man. You know what I mean? I don't know how much of carpet cleaning to make a difference in people's life, but like either way, I like
you
to
provide
see.
a service.
Yeah, I provide a service, but I like to see people be great, man. Like, and whoever it is, even if I don't like you, whether you're enemy, competitor, whatever. Like,
So
I
how
want
many
to see you
times
be
do you
good.
go to like one person? You might see them how many times a month?
What?
Like a residential car.
Usually twice a year, once a year, usually at minimum. Some people are 18 months. It really all depends,
And-
man. There's so
and
many
like-
factors.
Okay, so like
commercial probably more, isn't it? Is that what you meant?
Yeah.
Oh,
How often do you get a commercial?
it depends. I
Okay.
mean, it varies. It really it's
In the
varies by budgets.
In the
You know what I
winter?
mean? Commercial varies by budgets.
Do you see them a lot in the winter?
Yeah, we do. I think a lot of that though is because I target a little bit more in the winter because residential side is just so slow, and
Mhm.
that's another thing with business. Like people gotta like you really gotta like, be smart as far as like. So in the winter I slow down.
Mm-hmm.
I bought a plow for my truck. You know
Okay.
what I mean? Like you gotta compensate because it's not
Right.
always gonna be good. It's not. You're not always gonna have checks rolling in.
You know how to slow
You know,
seasons.
last year, I mean, I lost so much money because all I did was rain and rain and rain, and it was just mucky and muddy. Like, why would someone want to get their carpets clean if it's
You're gonna bring the shit in their house that you
Yeah.
gotta clean.
you know what I mean? And like,
Right.
so I had to do other things. At this point, a few months ago, I was out here Ubering and doing Lyft. You know what I mean? Like I said, like. Just because I'm here doesn't mean I made it. You know what I mean? Like, doesn't mean I don't have struggles. I still don't, for whatever reason. I'm like, but I'm gonna make it work, man. There's opportunity out here for everybody. I mean, no matter what you do, you can always find a way. You know what I mean? So,
Words of encouragement.
yeah.
What up with you? You got going on?
August 17th, Thomas is still fiddle faddling with the flyer. Our good brother Thomas Johnson.
I seen the flyer.
Yeah, but I'm going to be a part of 15 minutes. That's exactly what it's called.
I got to see the flyer.
Yeah, myself, I saw it too. I told him about keep fucking with
I
it.
liked it.
You liked it? Yeah. I liked it. But it was the white letters. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. Because we love you, Thomas. He's August 17th, I'll be at the venue in Stilton doing 15 minutes. That's what the show's called. So that's coming up. In Kashmir, I don't know if you watch us. If you do, I'm not ignoring you. We just got to figure out the day. And I'll come back to York and do my thing. But that's what's going on. I'm about to leave here and go buy a crib for my daughter. I'm having a girl. So it's good to hear you talk about your daughter.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's what's up.
So that's it. We survived the hotness.
Yes.
Got a couple more hours of it.
All right. Well, thank y'all for listening. Tuning in to It's Whatever with the Bishop.
Good night,
We
son.
appreciate y'all listening. Buddy Bellis.
Yeah, my bad,
We
dog.
appreciate you stopping through.
I appreciate you having me,
Waiting
man.
on this, and you wasn't nervous at all. You handle your business. I said, now I know you're
it's
tough.
Rise to
I
the
know you
occasion,
was
man.
tough, but now
Adapt and overcome. so.
it gives
Yeah.
meaning to who you are now. You know what I mean, even
Yeah.
more. I respect you even more.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate you having me here.
I know the time. I appreciate you. All right,
Right.
grind. Every day we on our way. All right. Peace.
Peace.